Der Originalfilm aus 1988 hat längst Kultstatus erreicht und hat sich zum Klassiker der Fantasy-Welt entwickelt. Jetzt geht das magische Abenteuer rund um den Zauberer Willow in Form einer achteiligen Miniserie weiter.
Willow. Wir suchen nach dem Zauberer Willow. Man sagte mir, ihr hättet vor langer Zeit die Mächte des Bösen besiegt.
Ihr erinnert mich an eure Mutter.
Mein teurer Freund. Ich hoffte, all das verhindern zu können. Das war ein Irrtum.
Nach über 30 Jahren verzaubert Schauspieler Warwick Davis seine Fans nun wieder in der Rolle des Willow. In einer neuen Mission wird er in der Serienfortsetzung allerdings hauptsächlich von starken Frauen unterstützt. Anders als man es also bisher von den meisten Abenteuerfilmen kennt. Wie es für Davis war, nach so vielen Jahren wieder in eine seiner ersten Rollen zu schlüpfen, mit welchen neuen Herausforderungen er bei den Dreharbeiten zum Sequel konfrontiert wurde und warum die Welt einen Helden wie Willow braucht, verrät er mir im Interview.
Hello, it is such an honor to talk to you. Hi.
Thank you, hello, thank you.
First of all, I would like to ask you, of course, how was it coming back to play Willow again?
Exciting and challenging at the same time. I'm a lot older than I was when I made the film, and physically it's, quite a challenging sort of project to be part of. A lot of physical kind of work, walking, talking, fighting, all of those things. But yeah, when you're 52, that doesn't quite come so easy. I felt instead of fighting against that, I would lean into that age thing and play the character the way that he is really, he's not as young as he was. He's still very reluctant to be on this adventure, as he was in the film, I suppose. It's not something he really wants to do, go out of his comfort zone, which I think none of us want to do when we're 50, do we, really?
I don't know yet. What would you say, what do you like the most about playing the hero?
For me, playing this heroic character, he's such an unlikely hero, which was the tagline of the movie. The fact that somebody of my height, 3'6", is cast as kind of a leading man heroic character is so unusual. And so needed in this world of diversity we're in now, and kind of feels right on trend, really. So I think it's very important that we see characters like this in our world.
Was wir unbedingt auch noch viel häufiger in Filmen und Serien sehen wollen, sind starke, weibliche Figuren, die mal so richtig anpacken. Davon gibt's im Willow-Sequel gleich mehrere. Eine von ihnen ist Kit. Die muss ihren entführten Bruder Eric retten. Ich durfte mit den beiden SchauspielerInnen darüber sprechen, wieso diese besondere Rollenverteilung längst überfällig war und warum die Welt mehr Frauen als Heldinnen in Film und Fernsehen braucht.
That's reflective of the real world, I think. And I think that we need more accurate representation of how this world is being run, which is by women. And I'm so grateful to be a part of being able to be this role model, this strong, independent, messy, stubborn, impulsive, female role, I think is really, really cool.
Eric's basically damsel in distress, which is not, like you were saying, it's not really common. It's sort of a gender inversion. And I think that's great. And I think that the show does that with a lot of archetypes and a lot of characters. And so everyone's got this unique path where they've got these really beautiful qualities, but they have to learn. So it's really three-dimensional. And John Kasdan did a great job of that.
Definitely.
Du denkst, du weißt, was Wirklichkeit ist und was nicht. Was gut ist und was böse. All das vergiss nun. Begleite mich.
Jade is one of the strongest characters, maybe even the strongest. That's not quite typical for female characters. How does it feel to play this character, this role?
It is so empowering. I love Jade. Jade is definitely up there with one of my favorite characters.
You are such a rock. I was watching some of the episodes yesterday as well. You are such a rock. Steadfast, sturdy rock.
Jade is
handsome rock.
Thank you. She's unbreakable.
Yeah.
Unbreakable. And I love playing characters like this, and I had so much fun playing her.
Yeah, but even in some of the moments of fragility, you're still dependable.
She's stoic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and an accurate one. Borman's a mess.
Wobbly.
It's a wobbly stick in the woods, much like me.
Maybe I shouldn't even say this, but I still will. Jade is definitely my favorite character, but don't tell me.
Oh my gosh, you're my favorite interviewer.
Yay. Dove starts as this shy character. She, in the beginning, kind of seems, I would say, irrelevant in the story, but then suddenly becomes so strong and fearless and capable of things that she didn't even know she could. What would you say drives her?
I think her heart really drives her, as kind of, you know, cheesy as that sounds. Like, I think she feels a lot, and that's something that really drives her. And she feels a lot for the people around her and wants to help as much as possible and be as helpful as possible, even though she often kind of doubts herself. And then I think she's really lifted up by the other characters within the show, and kind of, you know, she's forced to kind of, well, not forced, but she snowballs into actually having to confront that power and figuring out what that means. I think love, whatever kind of love we're talking about, makes anyone stronger. And I think that her love for Eric makes her stronger in her quest to kind of find answers. And it makes her kind of realize what her true purpose is in the world of Willow. You know, she kind of figures that out inadvertently by going after him. And then, yeah.
That's really beautiful.
Bei Willow werden nicht nur die Serienfiguren von Liebe und Leidenschaft getrieben, auch Executive Producer John Kasdan brennt leidenschaftlich für dieses Projekt und auch allgemein für das Genre Fantasy. Was er daran besonders schätzt?
Oh, God, it's so, I love it so much, but I do think that I grew up on fairy tales. My earliest love of stories was fairy tales. So there's something about working in this genre that feels very pure and true to something fundamental in me about imagination and magic as imagination, you know, and those things being sort of synonymous.
What would you say is like the main challenge of filming a fantasy movie or a fantasy show?
It is working with the effects that, you know, you have to imagine are there. You know, things like brownies don't exist. Spoiler alert. So you have to imagine they're right there in front of you. The difference in making the series to making the film was that I actually had Kevin Pollak on set, whereas doing the film I didn't. You know, he was sat just off camera reading his lines. So me and him were able to kind of bounce off each other with the dialogue and get some fun into the scenes. So that made a huge difference.
Eines ist jedenfalls klar. Fantasy-Geschichten sind aus der Film- und Serienlandschaft nicht mehr wegzudenken. Und Willow gehört da definitiv dazu.
So wie letztes Mal. Mit meinen Freunden.